What is shaking, everybody? JT in the studio, back with you. Studio 10-4 live for another edition of What is Going On in Our World, and in the studio as well as, of course, 10-4 Magazine. And here we are, December 18th, 2024. And if you're in the queue right now, yeah, you made it. You're on time. Jeff, what's going on? Pete Henderson got beat out by Jeff Parker. What is going on with that? That's all right, man. Nice to see somebody else get up on you there, Peter. You're gonna have to be quicker next time. Of course, he is coming from clear across the pond, so he gets a little bit of the he gets an understanding. He's got travel a little further. So, got a great show for you guys today. Wanted to say thanks to 10 West Towing for helping out at the 10-4 Trucker Rodeo and Show, and who else did I get on there today to sponsor? I better go back and look because I can't remember now. And Mike Lowry Trucking. Yeah, Mike Lowry Trucking. Thanks for sponsoring this year's 2024 Trucker Rodeo and Show. And of course, all the folks over there at Lowry Trucking and the Bobtail Truck Show that goes on, Madison and her team to put that together. Great show. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it. JT in the house. I don't mean me. I mean Gerald Todd. That's his alter ego. Speaking of alter egos, man, this show today, man, this is going to be a little bit of fun here. I got Marty Miles and Jake Bast in the green room waiting right now. They're hydrating, getting ready for the show to come on here in a little bit. And you guys remember, go back a little bit, probably 20 years, probably by now, I think. Remember Garth Brooks had an alter ego, and the guy's name, his name was Chris Gaines. I don't know if y'all remember that or not, but I think he actually put an album out even under that name, and it was like this crazy alter ego guy that he created, and he was on Saturday Night Live, and he hosted and said, all right, because I remember watching this back when it premiered live, and Garth Brooks says, this is the show you probably want to send your kids to bed and not have them stick around for this one, because this is going to be the Chris Gaines version of who he is and what goes on and all that fun stuff. Anyway, nothing too crazy. I mean, it was TV, regular TV, live TV broadcast, and back then there was no slack, man. I mean, anything crazy, weird, or otherwise, they pretty much killed it. So I don't know if this will be the Chris Gaines show. You might want to put the kids to bed, but we'll keep it family orientated. But I got a couple of great guys here waiting to join me and join in the conversation. And we're going to share some stories. We had some pre-show conversations that we definitely can't share, but the ones that we will, I'm sure they're going to be just as entertaining. So things that are going on in our world, 10-4 Magazine, Dan's under deadline right now, so he's working getting that done, and that's why he probably won't be joining us tonight. So it'll just be the three of us, myself, Marty, and Jake. But look forward to bringing you guys a good show and a good time and having some fun with it. So if y'all do me a favor too, share what you're watching, just on whatever, if it's Facebook, if it's X, whatever, let people know. Just send them over to Facebook or YouTube. Those are the two main mediums that we kind of seem to be pointed towards, but we're also on X too. So appreciate it if you do that. Things that are going on, just quick notes of things that I wanted to talk about. First, let's make this first. So I don't know how many of y'all are sports fans. I bet a lot of you are. I don't know how many of you follow college football, but I know a lot of you do. Last weekend, the Heisman Trophy was awarded to Travis Hunter. A double player. He plays both sides of the ball for the Colorado Buffaloes, who are going to be playing BYU in the Alamo Bowl this year. And I didn't get to watch the ceremony. I watched some clips and snippets and things like that later. But I did see a lot of comments that were dogging the guy. And how these other quarterbacks and other players should, you know what, man? This guy played both sides of the ball. There's not a quarterback out there that's going to do that, could do that, want to do that. They're doing what they do. They're good at it. I get it. But after I watched his acceptance talk, wasn't a speech, it was a talk. It was a guy that got up there and just talked to everybody. This kid spoke from the heart, told it like it was, gave praise and thanks to many, many, many people around him. And I know that a lot of folks probably, they talk about, Dion and prime time is in Colorado and it's just a big show. No, man, there's kids playing football in Colorado. And I watched this team all year long and last year, all year long. And I got to say, I can't think of a better kid to have gotten the Heisman this year and done what he did with it just in the moment after he got it, to say thanks to everybody the way that he did was incredible. There's no reason for anybody to say somebody else deserved it more, or this kid doesn't deserve it all, or whatever the naysayers are saying. This kid really was special. If you get a chance and you can check out his acceptance, his talk after the announcement, I would do that. It's not just a kid saying thanks for a trophy. In fact, it's not even that. It's not even about that, honestly. It was about a kid accepting the opportunities that he's gotten in life that have brought him to the point he was at that night, that day, and what he's achieved so far through the people that have helped him get there. That's the best way I can put it. And amen to him. God bless the team and him and Coach Prime, man. Way to go, guys. Freaking awesome year. My buddy Jeff Parker, you are not kidding. Number 5 AA state champions of California, Carmel High School. First ever trip to state championship and of course, first state championship. So congratulations, Padres. Way to go, man. Folsom came up short, lost in the game against, by 1 point, I guess, and I don't know the whole story, but I guess they went for the 2-point conversion and didn't convert and lost the game. So they didn't get to go to state, but they took the section championships, and they should have been going to state, but did not this year. Folsom, near and dear on me. Yeah, Jeff, no kidding. Yeah, right. So I guess, why do I bring Carmel up? I'm alumni. So went to Carmel High School, and yes, sir, I did. And the guys that I went to school with, some of them still around, and Jeff included there. A lot of them that I've stayed in touch with over the years, but some of the players that were in the teams that were during the years I went there are not. They are not. One of the first ones that comes to mind is Bob Slaughter, passed away, and I know some folks these are personal friends of mine that do watch the show. Know Bob, and Bob passed away a couple years ago. Lucido passed away in '93, and I didn't know this, but he'd been signed. This is a kid that when I went to school with, he was signed by the New York Yankees, and he was a multiple sport player. He lettered in many sports. So there was some talented kids that came out of Carmel, never got to go far with what they did, apparently, or as far as they could have, because nobody was paying attention. All right. But fantastic to see what happened last weekend. Carmel Padres first ever state championship, attending their first and winning it. One more of JT's points, we'll call them, and I'm going to give myself 2 points max a show, 2 points, okay? And the second point is this drone thing. I talked to our resident drone captain. That would be Captain Tim Stevens. So Tim and I spoke, and he clarified what I'd already been thinking. And I mean, look, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this stuff out. But that being said, these drones, if they're legal, we know who they are. If they're not legal, we know who they are. I mean, let's face it. There's nobody going to be flying anything around this country anywhere, period, without knowing who the hell's up there flying it and what it is and and so on and so on and so on. So, I mean, there's got to be a point where okay, folks, we're going to pretend you're all stupid and everybody be dumb and act that way. And we'll just keep filling you more of this. We don't know what's going on. I can't wait till that stops because this is just dumb. We know what's going on. Nobody's telling us exactly what's going on. And listen, I have a theory. This is my theory on it. What if it's for the good of what's coming soon? The change that's going to occur soon. Maybe there's something to that. I don't know. I have no idea. But I'm just saying, and they're not giving it up. They're not saying why they're up there because they don't want to tip their hand. All right, I get it. That could be. But I'll tell you, the media has sure ran with it, and it's just turned into a freaking fiasco. It would have been simpler just to blame it on somebody and say, yeah, we know who's doing what they're doing and why they're doing it and let it go. But it hasn't happened yet. So from the beginning of this, though, I just thought to myself, how dumb do they think we are? Like I said, if they're flying those things legally, they know who they are. And if they're not, they know who they are. Either way. So things are going to be happening here, I would imagine, soon enough. And when they do, we'll all know. TW, what's going on, man? Nice to have you on the show again, always. And MHC Kenworth, Longview. Yeah, nice to have you, Longview, Texas. We love having you guys out there in the big state of Texas on with us. Anytime you want to join us, feel free to do so. Michael Frame, good to have you on there, man. And hey, Dougie, what's going on, buddy? Glad you made your Christmas party. And by the way, Merry Christmas to everybody. Hope everybody's having opportunities to go out and do the Christmas thing, get stuff done. Is everybody ready and all that, usual stuff? I want to let you guys know we will not have a show next Wednesday, but we will have our special Christmas year-end, New Year's Eve, Welcome to 2025 show on Friday, the 27th. Okay. So we're going to do a special edition of Studio 10-4 Live. We got a lot of special guests that we're going to be bringing in, some live, some recorded, and we can't wait to do it and have you guys be a part of that and join us. It's going to be fun, as always. If you watched the Thanksgiving show, kind of probably more along those lines, but certainly a special edition of Studio 10-4 Live. We like to get everybody in and kind of, let everybody know what was happening in 24 that was so good and what are you looking forward to in 25 and how did your Christmas go? You kind of get the idea. We'll be here on Friday, though, okay? No Wednesday. And then the following week, going to take, because this is kind of a weird one, but Christmas falls on Wednesday. New Year's Day falls on Wednesday. So we're not going to do a show on New Year's week. So there won't be on a show Wednesday either. Now, the following week, I have somebody that you might be of interest in talking to or hearing from. And we are going to have on, and this is one of those deals where I'd love to say just her name, but as some of us in this business do, we don't let people know who we really are, I guess. And I get it, especially the ladies. I really understand that. It's not like it's a complete, armor plating to anything that could happen, but it is what it is. And anyways, on the Wednesday of the 7th of January, 2025, we're going to have Big Rig Barbie on the show and get caught up with her. Some of you might have seen, I did an interview with her in Florida back at the 75 Chrome show few years back, and this was during the midst of or beginning of COVID. I think it was more of the midst of it, and that was when I came down with COVID, my first of two times that I came down with it, and that one landed me in the hospital. That was not fun, but I made it home. 2 days later, I was in the hospital for 11 days. Yeah, it was brutal, man. And then I had it again a couple of years later, not near as bad of a case of it. And I had the Plaxovid. They fed me that in the ER and said, here, eat this and start this and do that. And I did. and that was the end of it, man. It was a 5-day regimen of those pills, and it was gone. So there's definitely some countermeasures to it out there, and I never got vaccinated. I did not do it uh, as if that matters, because obviously people that did get it got vaccinated, were vaccinated. People that didn't get it were vaccinated. I mean, everybody got it. Whoever got it, got it. Didn't matter if you were vaccinated or not, period. It's just the way it was. So anyway, Big Rig Barbie, January 7th, Wednesday, we'll be getting caught up with her, and she can fill us in if she wants to as to who she is. It's not a secret, really, but I'll let her be the one to let her share that. And we may have Big Rig Blake in here too, and that's her husband. So we'll see what happens. Debbie, how you doing? Nice time. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate you joining us for the first time. Oscar, what's going on, man? You see that that shot of Mario? He was in a tunnel or something coming in to a big sports complex or something, man. And that was a pretty cool shot. James, the drones are just out there trying to get rolling videos of Marty. Yeah. Hey, there you go, man. That's awesome. I love it. Michael, how's it going, buddy? Marty, that one's for you. Apparently, there you go. The drones are just out there trying to get rolling videos of Marty Miles or whoever else they can out there. But yeah, Clay, good to have you on the show. Thanks for jumping in. All right. Well, listen, without further ado, like I said, I'm gonna mess around with just two of my own points and topics. I want to bring in our guests here. First, I want to bring in Mr. Jake Bast. What are you doing, buddy?
I'm just sitting here listening to you.
Yeah, that's hard not to do, right? You're kind of captive audience as you're sitting there in your truck, right?
On the edge of my seat.
Yeah. Well, Jake, good to have you on the show. And as some of you may or may not know, Jake was a cover trucker back in July of 19, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right? July 19 of 19?
You're the expert on that stuff. I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure it was. I was there for that cover shoot, so I hope I got that right.
You were there, yeah.
I was there.
You were running the smoker on the top of that ski launch parking lot while Dan and I were slaving away. Yeah.
You know, the only problem with that shot, that whole shoot, was that PBR tap in your truck didn't work, man. But
that was a big letdown for. Yeah, you're not the only one. I want to know who the parental warning came from tonight, though. It had to be Marty. Have you ever got him? You know, you get a couple of cold ones at Marty and George Strait backing him up, and he can say some obnoxious things. So I'm glad you put a warning out for him.
Well, you know, you got to do that. And do you remember the Chris Gaines thing with
I do. I was giggling when you said that because, you know, Marty does look a little Chris Gaines at times.
Oh,
I mean, did you see the comparison there?
We're gonna. He's slapping his knee right now. Well, we'll see what he says, if he has, you know, anything that comes out kind of Chris Gaines like. That was a real dark look for Garth back in the day, man. That was back in like what, 1998 or something? Or
that was back in, what did the kids say, the late 1900s? Yeah, the late 1900s.
That's right. That's exactly right, man.
Yeah,
make us all feel. You know, I'll tell you what, that guy's sure come a long way. Got himself a club downtown in Nashville, and it's like the rage. I mean, I think all the big stars are doing that. Jelly Roll got his just getting ready to open up too. I guess that's kind of like what you do now.
It's either a tequila line or a club somewhere. It seems like somebody's doing something. I remember seeing Garth in Arco Arena back in the 90s, and he had like his drummer came out in this like drop down roll cage. It was like insane back then. And the parking lot looked like Walmart exploded. Everybody was wearing the same like two-tone brush popper shirts back then, you know, all the same shapes and sizes, just different colors.
You know what? I had my own of those, the snap pearl button snap shirts, man.
Yeah, I think everybody went through that stage. Yeah. Rocky Jeans got a lot of guys through the 90s. Yeah. Yeah, staring at Rocky Jeans.
So listen, man, how you been? What, I haven't talked to you in a while, but things are going well.
Oh yeah, we're busy, going like crazy, just you know, picking them up and putting them down.
And
staying steady.
And we'll talk more about this too, but we didn't see you at the trucker rodeo because you were.
Well, it overlaps. I don't know who we can file a complaint to in the department of that truck show for scheduling conflicts, but I had to deliver a Christmas tree to Kansas City the same weekend that was going on. And Ram's been doing that for like 25 years. And it's quite an honor to be a part of that. Actually, it's not every day you get to say you're an honor to be a part of something in trucking anymore, especially when it comes to a load. But the Kansas City Hallmark Mayor's Tree is a pretty neat deal. It's the largest tree. They don't want to quote it, or it's the largest tree. It's want to be a competition, but it's a 100-foot tree pretty much every year, and we harvest it in Oregon and wrap it up and transport it to Kansas. And the mayor jumps in the truck for the last mile, and we deliver it right downtown, right to the square for Hallmark. And they put it up. They spend the next 2 or 3 weeks putting it up, and then Thanksgiving night they have the lighting ceremony for it. And one of the owners of Ram, who's retired, Dale Middlestat, he started that with Willamette Industries 25, 30 years ago, and it's just something he continued on all this time. And about 6 years ago, I got to go along with him in my truck with a separate load, and then I'd stay and help. And then the next year, just kind of slowly progressed more and more. And then the last 2 years, I've been able to take the tree myself, and then he meets me there and then kicks me out of the way for the last mile, jumps in the truck, gets the mayor in there, and then goes in with all the glory. And but I told him, I said, you show up in a wheelchair, I'll get you in the driver's seat of whatever truck we have and get you down there. I said, it's just the fact he still comes out and allows me to be a part of it is pretty neat.
So are you on the curb, or does he put you in the sleeper, or how do you?
Oh no, I get to jump in this soccer mom minivan. It's got some magnets on it that says Hallmark Security with one of the Hallmark security gals. And they have like a 20 police officer motorcycle escort that runs in front of the truck. And I'm in this minivan, and the mayor and whoever we bring along. Like my wife goes every year, and she's a part of it. Now it's like a vacation for us a little bit too. But he usually has the news crew and the mayor's wife, or somebody in the truck with them, and then I'm pretty much forgotten about for the rest of the day on that until we start untarping, untying, and doing the work. Yeah,
I got it. Okay, well, I think that's a great thing. And how many years have you done that now?
This is my 6th year of going, my 2nd year of actually hauling the tree myself, and so it's been a really great thing to be a part of. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, man. You know what? There's still a lot of good out there in trucking. I know there's a lot of, let's just say, questionable, but there's still a lot of good. I think it's what you make of it, isn't it?
I just got to say, it's what you make it at the end of the day. I mean, your attitude says it all, wherever customer, shipper, receiver you go. But to see the look on, like, who doesn't love Christmas? Like, a lot of people, I guess, don't. But when we get down there a couple days early and we walk into a bar and we're walking down the street, Kansas City is such a fun, welcoming town anyway. But when you walk into a bar somewhere, and after so many years ago, and the bartenders kind of recognize you, the same ones, and they get excited, like, "Oh, you must have brought the tree. It must be here." Like, the lumberjacks are in town, and it's complete nonsense, but it's so fun to just be involved in that. And then the trucking side of it, Ram builds a brand new company truck every year, so I don't take my truck. The one year I posted a picture of it on Instagram that we had the tree. With a different truck, everybody thought, "Oh, did you sell the truck? Oh, you gave in and did this." Everybody knows everything about your business until they don't know nothing. And so, Ram built this beautiful truck to give to the next deserving driver that takes care of their equipment.
I like how you put that, man. That's so true.
yeah. Social media is great for that. They'll tell you everything you want to know until you don't know nothing. Right. And so they build this. Dale Latimer puts this beautiful truck together, brand new, and as soon as he gets back, I don't even sleep in it. We take a mattress, there's plastic on it and everything. Kelly wears her shoes over there, so nobody stinks up the floor. Nothing. We're good. And we get it back, and the next guy in line that deserves a nice new truck, he gets the tree truck.
So, and just off topic here, just for a second, where are you at tonight? Whereabouts are you?
I am in Richmond, Indiana, at the Ohio line over here, and I just loaded a tractor out of Chillicothe, Ohio, not a Kenworth, but a John Deere. And I got one more tractor to pick up in Missouri tomorrow, and then I'm going to land this thing in my driveway for a couple of weeks.
Okay, nice. Well, the reason I asked, I saw the lights go across you, and either they were going to knock on your door and say out of the car long here, or it was a truck coming by the park, right?
I thought they probably was wondering if I needed any company, but they heard your voice in here and seen to us. I said, we don't know part of that, apparently. But there was a guy doing a drop and hook right here, a set of UPS trailers, and I thought, well, this is great. I'm going to get backed into on live tested talk time here. Yeah, but we're good.
Hey, you know what? It's cool is that there might be guys there. I don't know. There might be guys watching the show right now, and they're like, that dude, I think I've seen that guy. So are you in your 379, that same truck that you've had for a while now?
I don't know what you're talking about. I got a new Volvo. I haven't. I sold my 379 a year ago. I have no idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just call me little rig Bast. No big rig Barbie here. Just little rig Bast.
All right, Jake. Listen, man. I want to bring our other guest in right now because he's hanging in there and he's sitting there laughing while we're talking. I want to get his side of the story too. And Marty, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, John. How are you?
I'm doing good too. I'm gonna take the I'll as much as I like it here, I'm gonna take this out of here and
we can't see Betsy.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill the Christmas spirit, which I love, but we're gonna take him out. And then also we got somebody here. I knew this was gonna happen tonight. And Maria or whoever, whatever, Bob, whatever your name really is, we're gonna do something. It's called delete, and then we're gonna block you. And that's because, honestly, if you were real, you wouldn't be jumping in here and spamming the hell out of us. So nice to know you. See you later. Bye-bye. And so long. I knew that was going to happen because sometimes when I go through and I invite people in the beginning of the show, it sometimes invites random people from our Facebook page, and I'm pretty sure she was probably one of them. So anyway, Marty, I'm loving it, and you and Jake and I were talking about it, but you want to introduce first either one of your guests that you have in studio with you. That you got 3 that we can see, but the one behind you and the one beside you.
Over here on this side, we've got our newest addition, the reindeer, and then Frosty and Santa Claus, old George Strait, and Betsy over here. And everybody should know Betsy by now. She was the star of all our training videos for the cow loading competition.
I love the fact that she's got the antlers going and the 10-4 trucker rodeo shirt
cold,
on.
So
man.
we had to put the 10-4 trucker rodeo shirt on her. It is Wyoming in the wintertime after all. So, but yeah, she's getting in the Christmas spirit and getting ready for next November. What is it, 7th through the 9th for the rodeo, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. 7th, 8th, 9th. Yeah, man.
I'm gonna zip tie some pins into Ronnie DeFreeze's trailer so he can't get the gates open as quick this time, and maybe then I stand a chance to beat him. But
hey, I can see it happening. I can see it happening next year, man. You guys are going to be out there with like WD-40 and spraying your competition's ramp and your door pins and making it so that you get an advantage. But
we need to get Marty a 40-foot trailer too.
Amen. Yeah,
23-foot van.
Send a 50 guy to run 53 foot instead of 48. Boy, what a genius idea that was.
Hey man, you know what? I got to tell you, and I've told this to Dan too, and Dan, by the way, is in here with us, listening in, and that's what the tarnation going on here. Well, Dan, it's Jake and Marty and myself, and that's what.
Well, now we have to behave.
Yeah, no, not really. We warned everybody.
Oh yeah, Marty for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But it was funny at first when I saw what the Betsy's looked like and what was gonna, trying to visualize how this was gonna happen. But it wasn't until
it was gonna be a big deal.
No, man, until it actually happened, and then it's like, this is no joke, man, right?
Yeah, it seemed really easy at first until we started running, and then about halfway through the second cow, then you're like, oh my God. Yeah. Poor Reed, he's a good 20 years younger than I am. And I jumped out of the trailer after the last cow and beat him to the ground by just a little bit. And he looked over and he's like, how did you do that? And I'm like, I don't know.
Apparently he was not watching the videos and working out.
He didn't hydration is key.
Hydration is key.
Hydration that's the drink word now, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mine's covered for liability reasons. Yeah.
Yeah. Amen. Yeah.
There you go. Yep. There you go. Well, it happening right in front of me the way it did made it a lot clearer as to what was going on and how much fun it was sitting there watching this whole thing, not just for me, but everybody up in the stands and the other guys down there on the infield too, man. I mean, like I said, it ended up being no joke. You guys were hauling ass to get this done and make it, competitive, which you did. I mean, by no choice of your own, you had to do it. It was survival in there, man. You had to get in there and get out, right?
Yeah, it was a hustle for sure. But it was fun. I mean, like I said, the whole operation was fun. I've missed the days of the backup competitions and everything when they had them at TFK. That was so much fun. And the first year they were gone, I don't know that I missed it. It was just you didn't know that it wasn't there. And but then you're like, hey, this kind of took a little away from the show not having it. Sorry, reading some of the comments coming across the bottom here.
Yeah, I know.
with friends like that. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. We that's the first time I got to watch the squeeze competition up close, the booming competition, and them guys were for real. That was a very serious deal. The backing competition was, I mean, that was pretty serious too. And watching the old guys kick the crap out of the younger guys was pretty funny.
Hey, Saturday was all about dads
kicking
kids' butts.
All about us with a little experience. I kind of let people down on Sunday with that. Sorry about that.
That's all right, man. I know you did.
Yeah,
Listen,
Big Steve and Big Ronnie, they showed people how it was done on Saturday. Holy moly!
If you're down there on the ground next to these guys when they're backing, it's like, one wrong step, man, and it's all over.
Oh yeah.
You're done. You're going to end up being a grease, spot down there on the infield. The stuff that was going on during different competitions, for me down there, the tire change guys, man, there was some serious battles going on over there. And and then there was some guys that had it down, man. They, not a wasted move, not a wasted step. And it was, I'm looking forward to that coming back. I'm looking forward to everything we did this last time come around.
I hope there's more people participate next year. And I also hope for a couple other competitions. I talked to a couple guys with the amount of tanker guys that were there. They were talking about maybe doing like a hose, drag out your hose and hook it to something and then put it back, store it back again. Something like that would be a blast to watch. There was plenty. I mean, you saw the parking lot, John. There was tankers galore out there. We could have had a blast.
We'll see. I mean, and in the bigger conversation that had happened before we got anywhere near to where we ended up the weekend of the show, the bigger conversation included that and heavy haul and tanker competition. Do a mock tanker, unload load deal. Where these guys would have something, they come in and do their thing. So there's no doubt there's going to probably be more and maybe some that don't, make it back. I don't know. We'll see. It's a great big canvas. We just need to paint it the way we want it again and see what happens. The low bed guys, I think the heavy haul thing, that's probably going to be for sure. But the tanker thing, I'd love to see that too. I think that's a great one.
Oh yeah.
And I'll tell you, man, we all had the feeling, and it certainly was confirmed that everybody was ready for this kind of a show.
Oh yeah. It was a show that a lot of people look forward to going to just because of the activities involved in it. And it was a beautiful facility for it. And
this is a great thing for like somebody to come show off their skills and not their checkbook. Like, this is great. Let's be truck drivers in a truck driver environment instead of like just and like, look what I paid somebody to build me and I'm going to win a $9 trophy. Like let's be truck drivers in our own environment and have some fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
With you, Dan.
Yeah,
we need to give us another extra foot or so to back up to, so we don't
accidentally. You remember the old VHS videos of like doing the loading, like down at LA when they take a 980 over the back on a 16 tire, and that son of a gun would bounce in the air off the back of the trailer and right into the deck in the center, like in the middle of the show, like nobody cared. And if you could ever load one like that in real life, but to watch some old 980s like on them old 16 tires down there, like in the 80s and 90s when they were doing that, still is amazing how they load that stuff.
Oh yeah. And watching like the cow loading competition, it's honestly nothing like what we really do, but it was fun and it gave everybody an experience to just have fun, go out and do it. try it.
Wait a minute. You mean you don't have inflatable cows?
No, and it's definitely not a speed deal, but it's fun. I enjoyed everything about that show. Was just fun. I met a lot of friends walking around every morning with my empty coffee cup, just being like, "Hey, does somebody have a Keurig around here or something? I need some coffee." And
Yeah.
I met 5 or 6 different people that felt sorry for me and give me coffee. But
I bet it wasn't just coffee in there.
Oh well, don't tell nobody. That's why I pushed the shoot back too far.
So let's back up.
That was fun. That is funny. Yeah.
Let's back up a little bit. So this thing didn't just come out of nowhere. You and Jake, and I guess from what I've been told now, this is Jake kind of really helped, put this thing and design this cow loading thing with you and make it happen. So appreciate you guys working to make that all happen.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but I'm kind of a professional cow loader. I've watched 1,000 YouTube videos, and I pretty much am an expert in the field, and that's all, So I just took those skills of hard-earned late night YouTubing and put it to the test. So I was really glad to see that happen.
Well, thank God for YouTube, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just a flatbedder, so anybody will believe anything.
Yeah.
Jake called to tell me that they were going to try it and that I needed to offer some 2 cents into this deal and
more like $1.95 because
but for especially for first year stuff at this show, I was amazed at how well all that went off. I mean, the people volunteering the shoots, and we weren't even going to have cows there. That was Shannon's doing. She got on Amazon and went nuts, and then it kind of snowballed from there. But the whole deal with the inflatable cows, that was hilarious. And it has been suggested that we need to put sand in their feet next year. And to the person that knows me, you can go pound sand.
Hey, Marty, I ran some of the stuff by our friend in Kansas, and he goes, it ought to be a bale of hay and not a real cow. And
our friend in Kansas can go pound sand too.
He goes, in the old days, it should be a bale of hay all the way to the front. And I said, I think Marty will block my number if I tell him that.
Yeah. Wow. I'll line duct tape. I'll double over duct tape and put it in the floor so the cows can stick to the floor so they stand up. I don't care, but we ain't adding weight to Betsy. She's on enough of a diet. I might put helium in my Betsy next year.
When you said inflatable, helium might be a thing. Yeah.
So that there it is. We got a cheat already in the competition.
Yeah.
So that means we're gonna have to have everybody take a hit off of their Betsy and then talk to make sure there's not helium in there. Is that what I'm hearing?
We'll get Okie Dan to sample the air in them. Yeah.
I did find it funny though. The one when Dan sent me the rules when it was over with, and I read it, and I said, there ought to be something. If you hit the chute too hard, I go, somebody's going to hit that son of a gun and bounce it back to Chino or something.
Everybody was like, well, what award do we get? And me being I'm like, oh, you'll know when you'll hit it. You'll know, you'll feel it. If you're any kind of truck driver, you'll feel it. That's me, smarting off all these young guys. And who's the jackass that moves it past the line? This guy. So apparently you can't feel a portable chute unless it's attached to a corral.
That's all right. That's all right. Something else, and I failed to mention this when we were starting out there, Jake, is that I want to say thanks for sponsoring the kids zone at the Trucker Rodeo too. Appreciate you doing that. And,
yes, sir. Well, it's all about, just being a part of something you want to be a part of and be proud of what somebody else is doing. And you guys, this is something I think all of us needed. And I really wish I could have been there. I'm going to, hopefully our schedule next year work out a little better with the tree deal, but it's just really great to see something different that is different now, but it was pretty common then. Like Marty, guys already been around to see all that. It's just great to see truck drivers do truck driver things again and be happy to be part of it.
Yeah,
well,
that was a lot of fun.
Seeing the guys on Sunday come in that we're going to compete, the squeezes and the hay bucking guys, those guys, when they pulled in and there's all these square body Chevys in there, I'm like, whoa, these guys had to dig to get them out of the barn or wherever they kept them stored and bring them out for this whole deal. That on a timer? It must have shut you down.
Yeah, it's on. I think its lumen hours have exceeded its lumen capabilities because that's an incandescent one. So nothing like me having a light go out in the middle of a thing on here. There goes my reputation of never having a light out. Maybe I'll kick it.
The 11156 that's still in the world, and it's in your cabin, burned out now.
Well, not anymore. Yeah. Well, I guess I'll have to go that way then. I'll have to move that one.
There you go.
When they got done, and the parade of hay squeezes doing a hot lap around the track.
Yeah.
That was worth the price. Dropping in there in your own truck, it's quite the little tip to go to.
It is
when you drop in there. But man, that was worth the price of admission. I'd have paid double to just to take my truck around the track. That was so much fun. When the show was over, we got all of DeVries's trucks went around there, and they had the 5 matching Pete's, and then their cab over truck and trailer, or set of doubles with it, and it's Ron Senior's dad's old traders, and sentimental value to that. And watching those go around the track, and I have video. I got up in the flag stand watching them. They were going 3 wide right underneath the flag stand and stuff like that. Man, that's worth the price of admission, because you don't get to see that stuff very often, let alone do it in a truck. And being able to do that was worth everything, whether win, lose, or draw. That was fun, just going around the track.
It had a very unique. There was a lot of unique things that happened over that weekend that you just don't usually experience, and that was certainly one of them. And I'm hoping that in 25 we don't change any of that.
Amen.
Those were things that happened organically. They just happened, and I want them to continue, and so does everybody else. So I'm sure we'll get the ability to do that stuff and just continue on and keep building and keep making it better and better. I mean, what'd you think of the buckles?
Those were gorgeous. I'm legit disappointed I didn't come home with one, but Ronnie Jr. worked his butt off. He outran me legit. I've been giving Okie Dan crap about not stopping me before I pushed the chute back too far. And he's like, I was back there just to stomping my foot on the ground. I knew I couldn't say nothing, but it was fun. Irregardless of getting the buckle, watching those, seeing those, that was a really great prize. And thanks, Jake, for suggesting that. That was them turned out beautiful.
I saw them and I couldn't believe how a good job they did. I won a few, of my rodeos out of my life over the years, and I was like, man, when I saw a picture of those, I went, I want to go to a truck show just to win one of them now. And I never want to go to win anything, but I saw that and I was like, man, I'll get a tire changing or something. I'll figure something out to get in there. So,
I don't know if you want to do the tire changing, man. That's tire
change. No, a tire could change me, but I ain't changing no tire. I'm not near the size of one, but I'd get it anything just to have a go at trying to win one out on the trucking side of it. It'd be kind of cool to actually win a buckle on the trucking side.
Yeah. Well, I think that the buckles really tied it all together,
Sure did.
They did. And
it really did.
Just watching the presentation of them to the guys, that was really cool. The way that bring your truck back around and stop by it, that turned out really nice. And like I said, the facility there, the whole crowd could see. The people up in the suites and stuff had good seats for it. But it didn't matter if you were in the cheap seats. You had a great view of everything going on there. That was a really nice facility for that.
Yeah, there wasn't a bad seat in the house. And as we speak right now, apparently, it might be done by now too, but that whole area where we had everybody parked for all the show trucks out there is all paved. Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Yep. Honestly,
the one hiccup that we had there was the dirt in the back, and there was all them stupid goat head thorns there. But if they paved it, that's beautiful. And I can't think anything else they need to do there.
No, I'm hoping that they take advantage of the other space they got there, and I know they're going to be building a drag strip, so that's coming, and that's going to be kind of off behind where the trucks were all parked along the fence where the orchard is. That whole area over there is where they're supposed to turn it into the drag strip. But nice. I think they really have an opportunity there to develop some area for RV parking year round.
Oh yeah,
and they should.
I do wish that it had like a fairground type deal where you could have a shower somewhere for pools that stay in a truck.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, who knows? It could be happening. Yep. We'll see what happens. So Irwindale, obviously, most of us know the last event has happened down there, and the actual last get together or something like that. I think that's supposed to happen on the 21st. So that's what this Saturday, I think. Yeah, 20th or 20 Friday or Saturday. I'm not sure. But that's going to be the last kind of get together, sign off, see you later, goodbye. From what I was reading on stuff that came out at the beginning of the month. So a lot of things are going to be changing down in Southern California. I mean, when it comes down to drag racing, trucks, cars, or anything legally, I don't know what's left, So there's not a lot. And of course, the way that things have been in the race world, period, whether it's NHRA or otherwise, it seems like, a drag strip, racetrack, whatever, people just complain now and they want them shut down. I'm glad that Bakersfield is where it's at, the racetrack that is, and they shouldn't have any issues ever at that location from anybody ever complaining to change what's going on there.
Yeah, some birds in the orchard or something might complain a little bit, but otherwise, there's nothing to complain about.
No, there's nothing to worry about out there. So, I mean, it's all good. So what's coming up here in the next couple of weeks for you guys, Jake? What do you, you're headed back to, and where are you taking that load again? You're headed to where and going where? And then you're gonna be home,
it finals in Oregon after the holidays, but I'm going to take it home and park it in the driveway. And then my blushing bride and I are jumping on a plane and going to South Carolina for till after New Year's, and just, I don't even care. It's going to be 50 degrees. I'm probably not going to get it. I'll find a way to get a tan, I'm sure. But just to be on some white sand instead of some white snow for a few weeks, and that's it. So head to Myrtle Beach and the Redneck Riviera and just enjoy it.
Nice place to be.
Yeah.
Marty, what about you? What's coming up?
I'm home till after the first of the year. Enjoy some time with some family and some friends. Might go ride a snowmobile or something. Try and wrap one around a tree or something.
Don't do that. If it's headed that way, let go and let it do it. And you stay to the side there, buddy. But well, that's nice, man. You guys get to shut it down, and that's something some of us. I used to do that same thing every year this time of the year. Usually from Thanksgiving on, it would be shut it down if I could, it's an opportunity. Not everybody gets to take advantage of, but I'm glad you guys are.
I definitely should not be doing it, but you get to the point where it's like, I don't care. I'm doing it anyway. Like, you got to do things. You got to take a break. You got to get out of the truck, like, especially when you're gone a lot. You just got to make the time. If you don't, you never will.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I planned on working this week, but unfortunately my truck decided it didn't want to work this week. So I get to play mechanic too while I'm home, but that's okay.
See, you're not really not working. You're working. You're still doing what you got to do. Yeah, man.
Yeah. I'm taking my time working for sure.
Got a comment here that I want to address. Robert, thanks for the feedback. And, the reason we did not do any of the hay competition stuff on Saturday, it's the mess. We have enough time down in between the events that we held on Saturday already. And you saw how that all went. We ran all day.
Yes.
There would have just been no way to do any of that stuff on Saturday and still have everything we did.
Do we need to get more volunteers lined up to help out with something like that? I mean, what would make that more an effective opportunity?
You would about have to have a street sweeper as much hay as got left on the ground. Them guys were rolling in the squeezes and they made a mess.
Yep.
They don't got no breaks when they go to a squeeze competition. That's true.
No. Yeah. So I don't think really, honestly, from, and this was a call that Dan and I discussed when we were, go back to the first conversations of this thing and talked about how it was going to look. And, 1 day, 2 days, it just made sense to do it the way we did. Now that we've done it, and now we're bringing probably more competition in on Saturday, while maybe, eliminating one, maybe two, maybe none. I don't know. We'll see. But bottom line is we bring some other stuff in on Saturday. There's just not going to be any room for it, period.
Yeah.
And we had some ideas on some things for Saturday night that didn't come into play that next year could happen. I think, especially now that the track's seen what we did and how it went, they'll be a little more probably excited and available now that they're not having to deal with Irwindale to do the things that we were talking about it when we were at the table. And those would be things for crowd pleasure, man. We're talking, maybe some fireworks, maybe a demo derby, maybe, you know, some just completely off the wall stuff that would happen Saturday night, and just be for entertainment, period, you know. So we'll see what happens.
Well, the one thing I will say, me and 3 other gentlemen stayed over Sunday night through Monday morning, and I was very pleased to see, with everybody that was there, the very minimal amount of garbage that the crowd had to, or the crew had to come pick up Monday morning. That's one thing I will say with a lot of the guys I go to truck shows with, and I go to 2 or 3 every year, and a lot of them, the people police their own, take care of the place, and that's the crowd that was there. It was a good crowd of truck drivers and the people that put it on both. I can't say enough good about everybody there.
That's a great point. No, that's a great point. And to that, you know, I have to say, yeah, there's a thumbs up in there. Nice.
Yeah.
Did you throw that in there?
I don't know where that came
from. I've never seen that in all the years I've been doing this show.
George Strait must have just sent that in there.
George back there.
Yeah, that's from George Strait.
George is putting things together out there. I got to dovetail in on that, because the shows that we go to, the shows that we put on, I could say, you know, our shows 10 to 4 puts on. It's not like the stuff that you typically or do see at certain event venues, and the security that they put in play sometimes at certain places is just, it's over the top. I get why they do it, because they've had experiences with bad things happening. That's not our people, man. It's just not. You know,
the years I went to TFK and stuff, that was always a good crowd. And this deal here, the minute it was over Sunday night at midnight, I was already looking forward to next year. And
nice.
Just, I can't wait. And my only hope is that there's more trucks in every competition for next year, because that just made it that much better. You know, whether or not I win the buckle, I'd love to win the buckle for it, just because those are beautiful. And I would love to have one hanging on my wall. But it was just that I can't describe how much fun it was being in the middle of that and watching, like Saturday's competition. I got up in a flag stand and videoed guys dropping in off the track and coming in to line up and get ready for all the backing competitions. And it was just, I mean, you could sense the excitement from everybody. And Sunday happened to be in the infield to do the actual competing, and everybody, it just a good bunch of people.
Yeah, no, it was. And just as a side note too, by the way, everybody, those are real buckles. So hanging on the wall or hanging on your belt, you could, you know, either way.
Well, Marty doesn't ever wear jeans long enough to worry about putting one on a belt.
Hey, I got a belt buckle on here on my shorts, so.
All right. Yeah, I was gonna say, how far down does that? Yeah, okay, they're on your shorts. Fair enough.
There you go. There's a good competition. That's how I can get a buckle. You're right.
Oh, we don't even have to have a competition. It'll be a fight it's a real fight for second place with that. We already know who'd win a karaoke.
Well, so karaoke contest, that might be a way to clear the track. I mean,
except when Marty picks up a microphone, I'll say that. He'll bring him in.
And here's our leader.
Beer pong.
Beer pong.
Beer pong.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's have a bourbon tasting and count me in.
Tequila, buddy. Tequila. You know, I think we're good either way. So
yeah,
I think there's a lot of stuff to look forward to in 2025, directly related to a couple of shows that we have some insight on, Trucking for Kids, and we look forward to seeing both of you guys at that, as well as for the 10-4 Trucker Rodeo and Show that definitely is scheduled already. We're just waiting for some confirmation on some dates for TFK. Looks to be the same dates that we've been projecting out there. We're just trying to get that location zeroed in on and make it happen. So once that happens and we have that info, we'll be able to share that with everybody. But guys, thanks a lot for everything you did to help make the first Trucker Rodeo show happen. And Marty for being able to be there. Jake, we missed you, man. But you were doing a good thing and a lot of fun for you to be there. I don't ever give that tradition up. That's one that you got to keep doing.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's an honor to be a part of it for Ram, and that's one thing I won't. Yeah, won't have to
Well,
get out of there.
Look who
So.
dropped in. Look who dropped in.
Who's
Hi,
that?
Kelly.
George.
Hi,
Oh,
Kelly.
did my wife make it? She must be in the beer
Your
already. If
wife
she
made
made an
it,
appearance
yeah.
on Facebook,
Your
is
wife
she
has
there?
the-
Oh, geez.
Mine's in the house and still won't even come over and show her face.
We need this can't end until we get Heidi. We get a hand wave from out of the corner. We need a hand to reach out
Heidi
in this
come over
wave or
here.
something from Heidi. We got to have something before we go.
Here she comes, Jake. You did it.
No, it's just a hit. Oh my gosh, there she is. Yeah, that's right. Oh,
Well, that's awesome. You know what? I have a mystery now to figure out where that thumbs up came across the screen. Where the hell did that
I have no idea
from,
how
man?
that popped into my little bubble down here, but yeah, that was a weird deal.
I don't know. I think you did that, Marty. That's what I'm thinking. You did.
If I did, I don't know how I did it. So
That's the problem.
We're blaming George.
Well, listen, thanks guys for both taking the time out to join us.
Thanks
today.
for having us, John. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Always a good time, Jake, having you on the show. Look forward to many more ahead, and 2025 looks to be a good year. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to both of you.
But to you and your family too, bud. Thank you.
Thank you, George Strait. George, we'll see you, buddy.
George is waving.
Yeah.
You guys take care. We'll talk soon.
Okay. Right. See ya.
Thanks, John.
Bye. All right, guys. Appreciate them and the time they took to come in here and join us on the show today. As I said, next week we are not doing a Christmas Day show on Wednesday, so everybody join us, please, for Friday. May even bring some of you that are in the audience into the live show. So show up, and we decide to pull you in, we will. And we'll just send you the link. So all you have to do is click on it, and boom, you're in. Would love to do that too. Some opportunity to share thoughts about 2024, what was good, maybe not so good, but certainly what your holiday was like, because we'll be doing the show on Friday the 27th. So a couple days after Christmas, and that'll be a chance to have the day after Christmas and relax for a while, and then Friday just be a chance to wind down and join us here on Studio 10-4 Live. Definitely want to get you guys tuned in and participating on that. Have a lot of guests on that will be special guests we invite to join us and share their thoughts of what they have to share on 2024, mostly probably, and what's coming up in 2025. So it's always fun to get together here on Wednesdays with you guys. Appreciate that we're able to do that. Going forward, if you have any thoughts, always, we appreciate them. Also want to say, you know what, Christmas is right around the corner. If you haven't gotten anything and you need that last minute stocking stuffer, whatever, what's wrong with the subscription to 10-4 magazine? I think that's a great opportunity to put something together for your favorite trucker and your favorite enthusiast out there that would love to get and be a part of 10-4 magazine and our community. Go to 10-4magazine.com and hit subscribe. Love to have you check that out and get your 1-year subscription or more. Also, something, just a quick heads up too. By the way, when you deal with 10-4 magazine, you're dealing with 10-4 magazine people, and that means Dan, myself, Shan, Eric Hill. You know, these are the folks you see at the shows. That pretty much that's it. That's us. When you call to talk to somebody about a subscription, you're probably talking to Shannon, and could be Dan, but you're probably talking to Shannon. Online, when you're talking to somebody, Dan, Shan, or myself. Listen, it's a very tight run, small family operation with a big footprint that gets out to a lot of people. So there's a lot of things going on. Subscriptions, when they come to you, they are sent directly from the printer. There's never hands touching those from any of us. Those are directly from the printer. As they're printed, they get put into the clear plastic sleeve, like I always show you guys, this little plastic sleeve, and that's what you get from the printer. So the best way to ensure that your subscription is going to be continuously showing up is subscribe, pay for it, and then after that, we'll keep them coming. When they show up just depends on when the printer gets them out, and then our people in the racks, deliver them to the racks across the country. That's also another human factor. So be patient with us, be understanding. We love what we do, and we want to make sure that you enjoy what we're doing for you. Thanks again, everybody. Keep the shiny side up. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, but Merry Christmas, because we'll see you on the 27th, Friday, and it will be, I'm sure, 5 o'clock Friday afternoon, and we look forward to bringing that to you. In the meantime, stay safe out there and have a great, great Merry Christmas with your family. Take care, everybody.